JQ Crafty with the last off the board for me this month. There's a few more days in the month, so Crystal will be doing some more along with Maggie, Maura, Kathy, I believe, and a couple other people, I'm pretty sure. I think someone else is doing all the even days or odd days. Yeah, definitely check out Crystal's channel below every day, and she'll have the full list. But we all were chatting and decided how fun would it be to all do the same pin for today, since this is our like normal day every month that we would do it. But this is like the month of the Pinterest pins. So we're all doing this mood board. And I was dying to do, there were so many pins on my board. I was worried I wasn't going to have enough. I don't know why I was worried about that. But there's so many pins on my board that I decided I would also use, do kind of a scrap lift or use an idea. So I'm also going to use this pin, and I'm going to scrapbook this cute photo of my son on his 6th birthday, just as last year, with my lovely niece. And this is going to go in her album, I think. Maybe it'll go in his. I'm not sure which one. But I'm making an album from both my nieces, all 3 of my nieces. Oh, I gotta start another one, that's right. And obviously my son. But I thought with that mood board, like all the colors in that are in her shirt. So I thought, and it was very tropical vibe, and we had his birthday at the aquarium at the Mall of America. So it kind of reminded me of that. It brought me to that right away. And then knowing that I really wanted to try that technique of doing a grid and color matching. And so I was really inspired by that. I also pulled in some yellow because of the pineapples in the board, but I really like the shades of pink and the turquoise and then like the corally colors. So I took a bunch of scraps from my February paper issues kit. I'm almost done with that one, so I think I'm just gonna try and kill it. And I took this new die I got recently. It's a Sizzix Thinlits die. I just got it at Hobby Lobby. I really like the idea of the frames, and I really liked these clusters and the greenery. I don't have a ton of dies. I'm slowly kind of building up my stash of dies, and I didn't have any real good greenery ones, and I was like, oh, and the flower and frames, it was kind of a good set. So I just die cut a bunch of the different greenery dies out of all those scraps, and then I'm going to coordinate it with some shimmers mist. So I've got, for the blue side, we're going to do Well Bloomy Darn and In Deep. For the yellow, we're going to do You're the Zest and some Tuscan Sun. For the coral, we're going to do Mango Tango, just a little bit of that, and Practice What You Peach. And then for the pink side, we're going to do some Cotton Candy and some Pretty in Pink. So, yeah, let's get started. All right, you guys, this was tons of fun to make. Let me just say that right off the bat. If you have not done a layout like this, I want to do more mixed media. I got like a mixed media bug today, or when I did it, but it takes time, and when you have a 6-year-old who needs your attention too, you don't get to do usually more than one. So I was about to get started, and I realized I really wanted to add some texture as well. So I'm using this Vicki Boutin stencil and some of her texture paste and just putting it through. And I did gesso that paper as well, because it's technically, I don't think it's technically cardstock, but I'm going to call it cardstock. It's very cheap cardstock if it is, but it's very thin. So I knew I was going to need to use gesso anyway. And I really wanted the effect of some texture coming through. There's going to be plenty of texture, obviously, with all the die cut greenery. But yeah, just wanted a lot of texture in the background as well, because I'm going to do very minimal embellishing. Right now I'm taking all the scraps of those pieces of paper and just kind of doing some messy / wonky paper layers just to give my photo a little oomph. And then I'm going to go through the ephemera from what's left over in my February kit, and also these awesome LA Studio acetate letters. They're in like a teal color. They're really cool. I'm running out of letters to make things, though, and I needed 3 E's because I'm going to make my title Cheese to 6. You know, kind of like a play on Cheers, and also it's a photo of 2 kids doing the classic like cheese and not really looking at the camera. You know how kids do. So what's really nice about acetate letters is then you can kind of easily Frankenstein them because you can like lay them over each other and trim them. So that worked really, really well. And then I will use my Xyron and put them through my Xyron sticker maker. I love that thing for acetate. I wish I had a little bit bigger one for when I have big pieces of acetate. But if it can fit through my little, what do I have, like a 1.5 inch thing? Then it's awesome. I'm gonna add some fun foam, or as Crystal calls it, lazy foam, to the back of my photo to give it some oomph. And then when I'm layering under those die cuts, it's a little bit easier to tuck them in. All right, so here we are. I'm gonna start adding color. So I made this little mask for adding the color in the 4 quadrants. I didn't want to draw because I was scared about erasing since there's gesso and I added texture. And then I wanted to make sure I kept the color in its space, basically. I didn't want to get it too crazy. Here I sped it up like 6 times. Yeah, but there was just a lot of like adding some water, swishing it around, adding a little bit more. But I made this mask where basically I just took a 6x6 corner out of another piece of paper and then I just held it down. I also didn't feel like sewing down the grid lines, the 2 grid lines, because I'm lazy and my sewing machine had black thread in it and I didn't really feel like introducing black. But then I think I ended up doing it anyway, so I could have done it. But it's fine without having the sewing lines through it. I like the way it turned out. So I'm going through, I did add, if you caught it, since this is sped up like crazy fast and I look like a crazy machine right now. And I'm sorry if you done that like that, but I figured you kind of know what I'm doing. I'm just smushing. I'm just smushing, and then wiping things around, smushing, adding layers. But the yellow, it just wasn't as vibrant as I wanted, so I did bring in my Kelly Creates Aqua Pen, and I added a little bit from the yellow from that, just to add it. And now I found this cheapy American Crafts paper that I got from Joann's, the really thin stuff, and it was fun and grid paper in all the different colors basically that I was using. So I matted on that to help flatten her out, and then added some sprinkles of all the different colors, then just the main colors on all the sections. And now I'm gonna go ahead and glue down all the little greenery sprigs. Now I definitely had more in the pinks than I did of any of the other color, but I think I was able to spread them out enough and layer them up enough that you can't tell that it's heavier there. I was fine with the yellow section being a little lighter because I'm going to put my title down there. I'm not really sure how I feel about that, but it felt off balance to me and I wasn't sure where else because I really wanted to stick. Not necessarily that I had to use the February kit from Paper Issues, which I think I'm just going to try to kill it because it's almost done. Not that I had to use it, but it's like it was in the kit. Those letters were there. They're perfect. Might as well. So I could have used something else and maybe put, a title, snuck it in, hid it in the die cuts somewhere else. But it lended itself to doing kind of a diagonal design, so I apologize that the final pictures, I did go in and add a couple things after I turned the camera off. But I have a little bit of these little puffy dots, and I have some in my stash that I'm going to bring out as well to add to the blue section and a little bit more to the pink section. And yeah, I don't use hardly any of the ephemera that came with this little kit. But I do go ahead and add in a glittery yellow frame parts of it in 2 spots, a Celebrate ephemera piece. Here's how I'm adding the dots. What else do I add? Not much else. I do a little bit of journaling down by the title, and that's about it. Oh yeah, I decided I need a little anchor, so I'm going to outline the whole thing in black just on the white part. So I'm just going to outline it in black, and then I'll add my journaling. But yeah, I had a lot of fun making this. It was a lot of fun. And I would love to do some more layouts with gesso. And I don't do a ton of mixed media. It's like I I feel like I have spurts while I do it. So, but anyway, I'm rambling now. Thanks for watching. Make sure you check out everybody else down below. I appreciate you. Subscribe if you haven't already, and invite your friends. Thanks again. Bye.